Hello everyone, I'm Richard Gon of Back to Live podcast version. This time, I'd like to talk about, you know, you should watch porn movies before going to business schools. What I'd like to tell you is that, just by watching porn movies, you can learn things about or stuff about, business, or if you'd like to learn something, or if you'd like to expand your wealth, for example, if you'd like to expand your own wealth, and to expand your own wealth, if you'd like to learn stuff about business, or there are some stuff you can learn in for example in MBA course. If you'd like to learn some kind of business stuff, you can learn such a thing by watching porn movies, which is what I'd like to say in this episode. I mean, one day I watched some movies in which some actresses were selling dildos or sex toys in those movies. There are some porn movies in which some actresses sell sex toys, or in my case, I watched a movie in which an actress was selling a dildo to the viewers, and she was explaining that this dildo has this kind of specification, and there are models here and here and here. She was speaking stuff like that, and there is access to the link below the underneath of the video, which is what she was explaining. And by watching this, you can learn that it's possible to learn business scheme or stuff like that just by watching porn movies. Such movies are created. I mean, I think such movies are created for a kind of affiliate program, and affiliate programs are rife all over the world. For example, one of the most famous example is that, for example, blogging. Blogging is, I think, one of the most typical examples. Like, if you come to create a blog, and you apply for Google AdSense to get advertisement, which is going to be pasted onto your blog, like which affiliate program is rife and popular in this world and nowadays, and you can, of course, you can learn something related to business scheme by creating blogs, or by streaming movies in YouTube's. But actually, when it comes to or if you like watching porn movies, you can learn things from porn movies. Not just when it comes, or if you watch porn movies, of course you can enjoy those porn movies, but actually at the same time you can learn stuff about business, or stuff about expanding your own business, or expanding your own wealth. To enable to do that, I think one of the most recommendable manner is to choose some channels which are well off. For example, if you visit or if you access Pornhub, and you can choose some channels, and the channels you have to choose are the channels which are earning a lot of money, which are well off. And by choosing such well off channels, by choosing such rich channels, I think you can learn stuff about business. So what I'd like to say is that if you'd like to succeed in business field, any business field is fine if you are in some business field. I think any business field is fine to succeed. And if you are thinking of going to, for example, some business school, or you can go to any business school. You can go to any business school. You can go to Harvard Business School, or you can you can go to another kind of business school to get some, for example, MBA or stuff like that, So, you know, what you can learn from porn movies is the same as that of other fields of business. For example, please assume that you become a prostitute. If you are a prostitute, and so what you can give other clients is a kind of sexual service, which is what you have to give others, and to give that product or to give that service to others, you have to sell your own services, which means, if you become a prostitute, what you have to do is to let others know that your sexual service is really good comparing with other competitors, which is what you have to do if you become a prostitute, By thinking of which, I think you can learn that, what you have to do in the field of adult industry is the same as those of other fields of businesses. So if you have, any product is fine. For example, if you have a computer or if you have a product, if you have a computer as a product, if you'd like to sell that computer, what you have to do is to, advertise that product, or you have to let others know that the computer you have is greater than other computers, in some ways, for example, which means this is a case to, adult industry. For example, if you become, anything is fine. For example, if you are a prostitute, what you have to do is to advertise yourself to others. And if you have some porn movies to sell, what you have to do is to let others know that your porn movies are really great comparing with other competitors. What you have to do is such a thing, advertisement and sales, and there are other things to do. For example, you have to create benefit, which means earning money itself is really simple, but you have to pay cost for example, creating movies. I mean, if you have some porn movies as products, and if you are a prostitute, and if you become a prostitute, this is a hypothetical situation, but if you become a prostitute, and what you have to do is to adorn yourself, which means, you have to buy some, for example, beautiful clothes to make you look beautiful, by which, you can advertise yourself to other clients surrounding yourself, without which nobody may purchase your service, which means, if you become a prostitute and walk along some street and you sell your own service, but, there's a possibility that nobody gets interested in your service, because, for example, if you are too ugly for others to buy your own service, so if such a case happens, nobody would purchase your service. Nobody pays money for you because, nobody wants to have sexual intercourses with you. Such situation might happen. I'm not saying that you are ugly. I'm not saying you are ugly, but this is just a possibility. This is just a possibility. And what I'm talking about is completely a hypothetical situation, but such a thing is possible. So if you like which you can learn business schemes or sophisticated stuff of business even by doing porn businesses, or even by creating porn videos, and by watching, which means by watching porn movies, you have possibilities to learn business scheme or business stuff, which may give you a lot of wealth comparing with the current business you have, which means what I'd like to say is that just by spending time for watching porn movies, it's fine if you change your mind and begin to learn stuff about business and stuff about earning money, by watching porn movies. Just by watching porn movies may lead you to success. If you get some qualification like MBA, I think you will be worshipped or honored. You will be respected by other people. But if you truly wants to expand your own wealth, or if you truly want to earn money, earn a lot of money from, for example, from the internet, I think just watching porn movies is one of the most recommendable manner for learning business or stuff like that. Which means business schools are maybe you have to pay money for going to business schools, for example. But watching porn movies, that doesn't cost a lot of money, which is why if you are thinking of if you can analyze or if you can think of how to create, for example, products including porn movies, it's fine to watch porn movies. You don't have to go to any business school. This time, what I wanted to talk about is this. This is the all stuff I'd like to talk about in this episode. So if you come to like my episode, or if you come to like my channel, this channel of this podcast, in this podcast, I'd like you to frequently listen to my episodes of other than this episode. So that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.